All right, friends, we're on Tuesday of week 5. I'm going to read the questions to you and then pause if you haven't finished. So number 1, compare using less than, greater than, or equal to. 658 blank 658. Number 2, 275 minus 168. Number 3, circle each number sentence that can be completed by using the fact 12 plus 3 equals 15. A, blank plus 3 equals 12. B, 15 equals 12 plus blank. C, blank minus 12 equals 3. D, blank minus 3 equals 12. And the word problem says Lucy went to the pool for 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. She dove on the diving board for 35 minutes and played games with her friends for 48 minutes. How many more minutes does she have until she has to leave the pool? Okay, so if you have not done the work yet for those questions, please pause the video and do them now. All right, for those of you who have finished the work, we're gonna go ahead and check. So number 1 says to compare 6, 5, 8, and 6, 5, 8. I'm gonna put both of those in expanded form so I can compare their values. So 600 plus 50 plus 8 compared to 600 plus 50 plus 8. You can't see that, so let me back that up. Okay, so I see that they 600, 600, 50, 50, 8, 8. So therefore, they must be equal. So our answer for number 1 is equal to. 658 is equal to 658. Number 2, 275 minus 168. Okay, so I'm taking away. So I'm going to be circling where my bigger numbers are. So I always start in the ones place. So if I have HD, you can't see that. I start at my ones place. My bigger number is 8. So that means more on the floor. Go next door to borrow 10 more. So if I had 7 rods, I'm going to take one of them and turn it into 10 ones. I had 5 ones, I got 10 more ones, so I now have 15 ones. And I do 15 take away 8. Well, I know 15 minus 5 is 10, but it's not take away 5, it's take away 8. So 10 minus 3 is 7. Okay, don't worry about don't let me confuse you. I'm just trying to show another way to think about subtraction other than using your fingers. Okay, now I can go to the tens column. 6 and 6, numbers the same, zeros the game. And the hundreds column, circle my bigger number. 2 take away 1 is 1. So my answer is 107. Number 3, I'm going to bring the paper over here. Complete each number sentence. Circle each number sentence that can be completed using the fact 12 plus 3 equals 15. So I know that this is a fact family with 12, 3, and 15. And I know that in a fact family, I have to use those 3 numbers. Those are the only 3 numbers that I can use. So I'm going to go through the blanks and figure out what number is missing from the blanks. So in A, I have the 3, I have the 12, I'm missing 15. In B, I have the 15, I have the 12, I'm missing the 3. C, I have the 12, I have the 3, I'm missing 15. And D, I have the 3, I have the 12, I'm missing 15. So now I have to go through and see, now that I put my missing number in, is the statement true? So A says 15 plus 3 equals 12. Well, I know that's not true because 15 plus 3 is 18. Okay, B says 15 is equal to 12 plus 3. Is 12 plus 3 equal to 15? Yep. Don't worry about, you could, if this bothers you, take it over here and put it on this side. It doesn't matter what side it's on. C, 15 take away 12 equals 3. That's true. And D, 15 take away 3 equals 12. That one's true too. So we had 3 true statements there, B, C, and D. All right, and last question, we're gonna set up our UPSC. U, again, standing for understand. P, standing for plan. S, standing for solve. And C, standing for check to make sure you have the right answer. All right, so again, we go question by question, or I'm sorry, sentence by sentence by sentence. So the first thing says, Lucy went to the pool for 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. So I'm gonna put down, remember we talked about numbers are usually important. So it says, Lucy went to the pool for 120 minutes. Remember, I do not have to write the whole sentence, I just need the important parts. And I'm only gonna put the minutes part because the rest of the problem is written in minutes. So I wanna make sure I'm keeping the same consistent label, okay? So then the second sentence says, she dove on the diving board for 35 minutes. So she was diving for 35 minutes. And played games with her friends for 48 minutes. Okay, remember numbers are important and these are the things Lucy's doing, so they're definitely important. The question, which is the last sentence, asks how many more minutes does she have until she has to leave the pool? So we know question is important. How many more minutes? All right, so we could do this a couple of different ways. Okay, so you can pick a way that works for you. I'm gonna show you both ways so that you know both ways. So one way I could do it, you only need one way. So you pick one of the 2 ways to do it, or check whichever one you did. So one way I could do it is I could take 120, subtract 35, and then subtract 48 to get my final answer. The other way I could do it is I could figure out how much time has Lucy already spent. So if she's going for 120 minutes, that's her total. She has spent 35 on the diving board. She's spent 48 on the games, and we want to know what's left over. Oops, I'm sorry, you can't see that. So we could also be adding these together to figure out what that one chunk is. So we know that this is 120. We know there's a question mark, but we know that if I put those 2 together, the 35 and the 48, how much time is this whole chunk? Like the whole red piece, all of the time that she's already spent. So if I know how much time she's already spent, then I can figure out what's left. So that would mean I'm gonna add 35 plus 48, and then I would subtract it, 120, subtract my answer. Okay, so pick a way that works for you if you didn't already use one of these ways. If you didn't already use one of these ways, pause the video, work out the problem before you come back to check. So we're gonna do both ways. I'm gonna start with the 120 minus 35. Okay, bigger number is on the bottom, so I'm going to go next door to borrow, oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that. I'm gonna go next door to borrow 10 more. 10 minus 5 is 5. I can't do 1 minus 3 because the bigger number is on the bottom. So I'm gonna go next door to borrow 10 more. 11 minus 3 is 8. Now I have to check that, because if I did that wrong, then step 2 certainly is going to be wrong. So I'm going to do 85 plus 35. 10. Okay, so that checks out. Now, that's only the diving. I only took away the diving. I still need to take away the game time. So again, I have to now subtract off the games. So when I'm looking at the games, bigger numbers on bottom, so I need to go next door to borrow 10 more. I'm sorry, you can't, I need to remember you can't see. 7, and I get 10 more, so that's 15. 15 minus 8 is 7, and 7 minus 4 is 3. So I get an answer of 37 minutes. Again, I need to check that, because if I did that wrong, then my answer is wrong. So I check subtraction with addition. 37 plus 48. 7 and 8 is 15. 1 and 3 is 4. Oops. And 4 more is 8. And 85 matches with 85, so 37 minutes would be my answer. Now I can do it the other way. The other way, remember, is add all of the minutes that she has already used and figure out how much time has she spent playing. So I'm going to add 35 plus 48. 5 plus 8 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Now I'm going to check that, because if I did that wrong, then step 2 will certainly be wrong. 83 minus 48. I can't do, let me see this, bigger numbers on the bottom, so I have to go next door to borrow 10 more. 13 minus 8 is 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. And that's what I started with over here, so I'm good. I can do step 2. Now I'm going to do the second part of that. So that's saying that this piece right here is equal to 83 minutes. So to figure out, I know that's hard to see, to figure out what that question mark is, now I can do the subtraction. 120 minus 83. We have more on the floor. Go next door to borrow 10 more. 10 minus 3 is 7. We can't do it because there's more on the floor. 11 minus 8 is 37 minutes. And we're going to check that because we want to make sure that we did everything correctly. So we'll come over here and do 37 plus 83 and hope to get 120. 7 plus 3 is 10. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 8 is 120. So my answers match up, so I'm good to go. Remember, you didn't need to do it both ways. I just wanted to show both ways since there are 2 ways to solve that problem. You need one way that works for you.